In the early hours of May 11, 2012, a house fire broke out in Derby, England, quickly trapping a family inside their home. The human toll was immediate and devastating. 6 young children were killed in the blaze. Looking at the photograph of the boarded-up house, the wall of floral tributes and stuffed animals shows the massive scale of the community's grief. Locals immediately began raising funds for the family, offering emotional support to what they assumed was a random and unavoidable tragedy. On the surface, this appeared to be an act of God, shattering an innocent family. Soon after, the parents, Mick and Mick Philpott, appeared at a public press conference, playing the role of the grieving victims. Mick gave a highly visible performance for the cameras, sobbing aggressively, thanking the public, and appearing to lean into the media attention. But behind closed doors, police observed a jarring contrast. During a visit to view his children's bodies at the morgue, Mick engaged in bizarre, jovial horseplay with the staff. His behavior toward investigators was equally inappropriate. He openly flirted with female police officers while the investigation into his children's deaths was still active. Detectives were left to wonder why a father would treat the loss of 6 children as a networking opportunity and what he was trying to hide. Before the fire, Philpott was already a fixture in the media. He was a tabloid villain dubbed Britain's biggest scrounger, living in a single house with his wife, his mistress Lisa, and 11 children. Philpott viewed his children as human assets. They were his primary method for harvesting government benefit payments and securing larger council housing. The catalyst for his loss of control came just weeks before the fire. His mistress, Lisa, finally escaped the abusive household, taking her 5 children with her.
This exit hit Philpott on 2 fronts. It wounded his fragile ego and caused a severe, immediate reduction in his government income. Philpott acted out of the panicked desperation of a narcissist who saw his entire business model collapsing. Working with Mick and an accomplice named Paul Mosley, Philpott orchestrated a plan to pour petrol through his own mail slot and set the house on fire. Philpott intended to stage a heroic rescue to frame Lisa for the fire and win back custody of her children. But as this diagram shows, he didn't understand the physics of fire. Heat upstairs rapidly exceeded 500 degrees Celsius, making any rescue attempt physically impossible. A critical forensic mistake broke the case open. Investigators found traces of petrol on the clothing of all 3 conspirators. To gather more evidence, police hid microphones in the suspect's hotel room and their transport van. The wiretaps were chilling. Philpott was recorded admitting fault and using sexual coercion to ensure his accomplices stayed loyal to his story. The children died because of a lethal combination: a master manipulator's arrogance and a total misunderstanding of how quickly fire escalates. To understand how Philpott reached this level of callousness, we have to look at his history of violence. In 1978, a 19-year-old Philpott stabbed his teenage girlfriend 27 times after she tried to break up with him. He then stabbed her mother 11 times when she tried to intervene. Despite the brutality of the attack, the justice system was remarkably lenient. He served just over 3 years in prison for attempted murder. This slap on the wrist taught Philpott that extreme violence would not lead to permanent consequences, cementing the God complex he would maintain for the next 30 years. The facade eventually collapsed, leading to the manslaughter convictions of Philpott, Mick, and Mosley. The judge's sentencing remarks explicitly identified Philpott as a dangerous psychopath who dictated the actions of everyone around him. While his accomplices eventually faced parole, Philpott remains in prison, his ability to control others finally broken. The deaths in Derby were the end result of a man who viewed his children as currency and fire as a tool for leverage. It revealed the lethal damage a manipulator can do when they believe they are above the law.